Welcome to Thriving with Trisha, the podcast for ambitious 20 somethings chasing big dreams and building lives they actually love. I'm Trisha, your host. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Thriving with Trisha. Today's guest is not only a creator that I look up to, but also a friend of mine. You might know her as Meghan Makes Money on social media, and she has over 160,000 followers on Instagram alone, where she shares finance tips, advice, and experiences as she navigates them in real time. What I love most about Megan's content is how she's been super open about her experiences and just her journey from growing her platform and helping everyone feel more confident with their finances. So, we're going to be talking about her story as a creator and the reality of making content and any advice for people trying to figure it out right now. So, Megan, I'm really excited to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, I guess before we get into all the big things with like career and money, I want to start with something fun. Like, what is something you spent money on lately that you thought was worth it?
I would say the biggest thing I spend money on lately, outside of travel, because I like travel, my gym membership. So I pay $240 a month for this gym membership. The gym is 2 blocks away.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
My apartment has a gym, but being part of like a group and just being with coaches that push you, I think is so worth the money.
Yeah.
I've noticed change in my energy. I'm getting stronger. I love the community. And knowing myself, like, yeah, I can go to the gym, but I'm not going to push myself as hard as someone else would.
Right.
So the best investment, like the gym.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And so, are there also classes at the gym, or is it like just weights and everything?
It's just weights, which is interesting because prior to this gym membership, I was doing ClassPass. And
Okay.
for anyone who doesn't know, ClassPass is this app where you can use credits to book different classes. So you could do like boxing, yoga, but this one is specifically strength training, which is interesting because strength training was never like my favorite workout or something like I wanted to do. But I saw that this gym was nearby, and I've been listening to podcasts hearing about how women should be weightlifting and how beneficial it is. And also, like, I really want to become stronger. So they do some cardio classes too, but mostly focus on the strength part. And my best friend weightlifts. So I decided, you know what, why not just give it a try? And I really enjoy it.
That's awesome. And when did you sign up for that? Was it just recently?
Yeah, I signed up for this gym specifically. I want to say August, I think, because I moved into my new apartment July. So I've been going since
Okay.
August, and it's been really good.
That's great. That's awesome to hear. And yeah, I wanted to go back to
Sure.
the beginning before you were making content, or I guess before you really focused on it seriously. So, not too long ago, you were working as a financial analyst. And at the time, were you already posting content?
Yeah, actually, I was, but not consistently. So when I was like working my regular job, I actually tried to become a food influencer. I always admired creators and I always wanted to be one. And I would always, scroll and get inspiration. And I saw one of my friends make a food thing and she blew up and I was like, she makes it look so easy. I'm going to do this. So I started like making food content and props to food creators because that's a lot of
It's a
work.
lot of work. Yeah.
I think food creators work probably harder than any other niche
Yeah.
because not only do you have to prop your camera in so many angles, but you got to make
The
the
labor that goes into
food.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then you got to clean up.
Yeah.
And I just have so much respect for them because I tried it and I couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah.
So I did that. I think I didn't really grow, so I kind of just gave up. But then what really pushed me to kind of start content and take it more seriously was when I got laid off from my job. Yeah.
Gotcha. And when was that?
This was February 2023. I lost my job, and at this point, I got a severance package. So I decided to travel to Asia and go to countries I never visited before. So I went to Japan and Korea,
Oh, wow.
and then also the Philippines, of course. And while I was there, I had this kind of like epiphany. This is so cool. Like, I want to be able to control my time and control my location freedom and have financial freedom. And so, again, I just have to go back and give it my all and just not give up.
Right. Yeah. And it seems like it paid off.
It
So
did pay
that's
off.
great.
Thank you.
And so, right after you weren't working anymore, when you were unemployed, you just
Yeah.
started making content on a daily basis, or was it still like here and there?
Yeah, so I actually recorded a video of myself saying like a year from now you're going to be a full-time content creator.
Wow.
Yeah. I was never really a person that took manifestation seriously, but I figured that if I train my brain to want something so bad and I stick with it, like I'm sure good things can happen. And the worst that can happen is I don't blow up and I
Right.
continue finding a job.
Mm.
But after recording that video, I decided that I was going to post daily. And at first I was batching my content. I think I made like 10 videos, but then I was so eager to post it. I was like, I'm so excited to post this. I'm just going to get it out there. And
Yeah.
so I just made it a habit to just create every day. It wasn't
Mhm.
perfect. It's just the fact that I got it out there. And so after 7 months of posting daily, which is a lot for a lot of people, but when you love something so much, it doesn't feel like work. And when you want something so bad, it doesn't feel like work. So I think I enjoyed the game of like just getting something out there and watching my follower count grow. I finally had a viral video, and this was like after attending a conference called FinCon where I met the top finance creators, took their advice, cultivated like a video, packaged it well, and then that video went viral, and I made a ton of money from sales of my budget template.
Oh, wow.
But it was a life-changing experience, and it gave me the confidence to go all in.
That's awesome. And what was the video exactly?
Yeah, so the video was talking about my paycheck. So I noticed the trend. There was a girl who made a video breaking down her paycheck where she said how much money she made and where it was going. And pay transparency is like something that people don't talk about enough. And I think I'm a nosy person and I like hearing the numbers. So
Yeah.
I wanted to put out content that I think I would have liked on the other side. So I decided to break down my paycheck in this new job. And this was very strategic, by the way. Like, as I was applying to new jobs, I knew that as soon as I got my next job, I was going to break down my paycheck because I just knew it was a format that would go viral and do well.
Right.
So as soon
Yeah.
as I got that job, people loved it.
Oh,
And I was watching videos on like how to make my content better, and everyone kept saying focus on the hook, make the hook really good.
oh.
So in the background, I'm like waving my laptop.
Yeah.
And I did that on purpose because it's like, what the heck is she
Yeah, I know what you're
doing?
talking about.
Yeah.
Uh,
To capture attention, I made the text title clear. It was like payday routine of a financial analyst. It was very specific. Put my age. I revealed so much.
Wow. Yeah, yeah,
Honestly, oversharing also kind of brings views too. Like people just
yeah.
are nosy. So I literally overshared everything,
Yeah,
scripted
yeah.
my content, filmed myself talking, and also like back and forth B-roll.
Yeah.
And then I think another hack I learned from this conference was to put your call to action in the beginning. So
Oh.
I asked people from the start, like I said, I talk about financial literacy, so if that interests you, follow me. I said that within the first 10 seconds.
Okay.
And I iterated it again at the end. And what's crazy is like for some reason that video went super viral and
Yeah.
that gained me 120,000 followers.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So literally just one video changed my
Yeah.
entire life.
That's awesome. And would you say it's still your most viral video? Like,
It still
up
is.
today?
Yeah.
How
it
many
had
views would you say it has?
5.8 million.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great. And you had your template linked in that video?
Yeah. So
Okay.
actually, I didn't at first. I think it was like the call to action was link in bio.
Okay.
And at the time, the video maybe had like 300,000 views.
Uh-huh.
But then there was this new software called ManyChat. And for
Yeah.
those of you who know, ManyChat's a software where people comment a word and it sends them the link directly
Yeah.
instead of telling them to go to my link in bio.
Yeah.
So I integrated ManyChat at the time. And also, since it was so new, I think
Mhm.
because of the comments, it was driving engagement, thus pushing the video out even more.
Mhm.
And I that Instagram allows you to edit your caption. So
Mhm.
after I think a week that the video was up, I edited the caption and I put like comment template and I'll send it to you. Then that video got thousands of comments, made the video more viral, just kept feeding itself over
Wow.
and over.
Yeah,
And then it
yeah.
drove more traffic to my site. So that I was able to get more sales.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And at that point, would you say like more brands started reaching out to you because of that?
Yeah, I think like the brand started to reach out maybe like 2 or 3 months after because like I
Mhm.
just gained this big following.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and also quick advice for any creator who doesn't have a big following, you can still make money.
Mhm.
Highly recommend like creating a digital product and stuff. But I was, yeah, after a while of just keeping up the content, and because the video did so well, I just kept recreating it over and over again and linking my template.
Mhm.
Eventually brands started to notice that I was posting consistent, good quality content, and then I also started making money from brands.
Right, that's great. And could you just tell me a little bit about the budget template
Yeah.
specifically? Did you come up with the idea like after doing your own kind of research from like that video?
So I have the financial analyst background experience. I
Mhm.
have a lot of experience playing around with Excel.
Mhm.
I learned a lot from my job working Excel, making
Mhm.
spreadsheets.
Mhm.
And so since I love finance, I'm such a nerd and I want to track
Mhm.
my money. I wanted to make it look aesthetic and pretty.
Mhm.
My first template was horrible.
Uh-huh.
There was a term for this, but it's called MVP, which is
Oh,
like minimum
yeah, yeah.
viable
Mhm.
product. So you want to get the bare minimum out there that at
Mhm.
least like solves the problem.
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot because I mean, a lot of people bought it. I
Yeah.
wasn't the most proud of it, but I took their feedback and I implemented
Mm.
it to be better. Um,
And that was the one on the first video, or did you
yeah,
did
that was yeah,
it was
the
way
one in the first video, yeah, it was the bad one, and then I
yeah,
changed
yeah,
it
and you
later.
made iteration.
Yeah, I made so many iterations, and I actually, like, started to research other people's templates, so I would buy other people's templates,
Mhm.
and I would see what I liked and what I didn't like,
Mhm.
and I tried to put myself in the shoes of, like, a user who has no idea how to use Excel. Like, you wanna make it
Mhm.
easy for them,
Mhm.
especially for someone who doesn't know the functions, so I tried to take it from the standpoint of, like, how can I make this so simple but also like stand out from other people's.
Right.
So after doing my research, I came up with a UX that like, made it very simple for just someone to just type in their stuff and it auto populates everything.
God.
I also made it colorful because I saw that like there's this one creator, she made hers just pink. So it only tailored to the girls, but I wanted like
Okay.
everyone to be able to use it.
I
So
see.
I made it colorful and I put in features that I would want.
Mhm.
And of course, like always ask for feedback. And so from there, people just loved it. And I think it also started selling itself. Like people would tell their friends and they would buy it too. Some people would like gift it to others, which I thought was
Oh,
interesting.
wow.
Yeah, but
That's awesome. It really like snowballed.
yeah, it really
Yeah.
did.
And I'm just curious, were you always very like financially savvy, like would you say? Or like when you were younger, did you already like tracking numbers? Or I'm just curious
Yeah.
where that came from.
It's interesting because like I would say the financial savvy part probably came in college when I was like watching a lot of Graham Stephan's videos. But before that, I was always like entrepreneurial. Like I was always doing something
Mhm.
to make money.
Mhm.
Like in college, I sold my textbook. Like I bought the digital copy and started selling it. I
Oh,
got in trouble for
yeah.
that. In high school, I sold candy.
Uh-huh.
In middle school, I my parents had a photo printer, so I'd sell photos of celebrities for like
Wow,
$5.
really?
Yeah,
Wow,
it was just
that's
like
so
always
funny.
been ingrained in
Uh-huh.
me.
Uh-huh.
And in college, like I was always hustling. I was pet sitting. I was dog walking, and I would just double down on what I liked and just kept doing it over and over
Mhm.
again.
Wow. And since you mentioned
Yeah.
side hustles, could you just like tell the viewers more about like what side hustles you've done, or do you still do a lot of side hustles?
Yeah, I still do a couple. So most of my side hustles, I guess you could say now, is like from content creation, like
Mhm.
all of the revenue streams. So affiliate marketing, where I promote a product and I get a commission if someone clicks the link or signs up. Digital products like my templates.
Mhm.
Um, Another big one I think like that's great for beginners, especially college students, pet sitting and dog walking.
Oh, yeah.
And I still do that. I actually did a dog walk today. So even though it doesn't pay
Awesome.
a lot, I just genuinely
It's
love
fun.
I love doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
I think like I'm at a point where I can not everything has to be optimized for money. Like if I enjoy it, I'll still keep doing it.
Yeah.
So dog walking. I've tried delivery like in college. I didn't really enjoy that.
Oh.
But it's a good starter for people like who want to
Mhm.
make some extra money. But most of my side hustles are through content creation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And where would you say your income comes from now? Like, do you still have multiple income streams, I
Yes.
assume?
Yeah, so I still have multiple income streams. Most of my income comes from content. So
Mhm.
I know I talked about affiliate marketing and brand partnerships. I also do a bit of UGC. So,
Mhm.
when a brand comes to you and wants you to make videos for their page, then I'll do some of that.
Mhm.
Um, and then I also do some coaching. So I'm actually coaching some people to help them grow their social media presence, but more importantly, monetize it.
Mhm.
Because like everyone tells you like, oh, you should be a content creator, but no one teaches
Mhm.
you how to actually make money as a creator. So
Mhm.
that is something I'm also doing as well. Um, and then I get a little bit of money from views, but
Mhm.
I think like the next step for me is probably maybe make a course or community where I can like kind
Mhm.
of scale the knowledge that I have
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I read a statistic, but only 4% of content creators make $100,000 plus per year.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I feel
yeah.
like I cracked the code within my first year of being a
Uh-huh.
creator.
Yeah.
So it's really just like diversifying your income streams and kind of turning yourself from a content creator to an entrepreneur.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that's really true because talked to I've gone to a lot of conferences and creators like will be transparent about how
Mhm.
much they made, even if they have really large followings. Like
Mhm.
sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that they are
Exactly.
the same way. And even for the creators and influencers that we work with, like in skincare, like some of them
Mhm.
have really large followings and don't get the conversions, but then the
Yeah.
smaller ones who are more engaged, like even just a few 10,000 followers, like are able to convert people, which is
Yeah,
interesting.
I know, and that's something, like, people are starting to realize, like, follower count doesn't
Mhm.
matter. What matters most is, like, having a tight-knit community that trusts you, that's willing to pay you.
Yeah. And then you mentioned that one of your, income streams is like the content and the brand partnerships you've
Mhm.
done. Like, what is one brand collaboration that you've enjoyed?
Yeah, so I would say the most recent one I did was Verizon. I know they just had, like, a little outage, but,
Really?
yeah, there is I was on the news, but basically, like, everybody's cell signal, like, stopped for, like, a couple
Oh,
hours or
okay.
something.
Okay.
But Verizon, I think that was the coolest partnership.
Mhm.
I like I don't think I can say the how much I wish I could say how much they paid me, but
Yeah.
I will say it's in the five-figure range.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were really easy to work with. I enjoyed it, and, yeah, I think it was just because it was, like, my biggest, like, known brand to work with
Yeah.
me. I think that's
Yeah.
why it's so cool.
I'm just curious for Verizon, like, is the content already out or are you still making it or
The content's already out. Yeah.
okay. And it still has to do with finance, like I assume,
Yeah,
or
kind of. So it was like I was promoting this holiday deal where it's like if you go with Verizon, you can lock in. So they have like a 3-year lock in. So instead of
okay.
paying like a different amount every year,
Yeah,
you're locked
yeah.
into a price.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And would you say, like, most of the brands you work with are still finance related, or have you done other ones?
Yeah, that good question. So most of the ones I've done are finance related, but I
Mhm.
just signed on with a talent agency yesterday.
Oh,
So I'm hoping to do more like non-finance stuff. Like
mhm,
I do want to do more travel brands. I
mhm.
love traveling, so I want to implement that more into my content and also do maybe more like lifestyle.
That's so
Yeah.
exciting. Are
Thank
you allowed
you.
to say what it is, like, the agency?
Yeah, the agency is small screen.
Okay, and
Mhm.
what, like, made you, I guess, want to transition now and have
Yeah.
advantage? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I guess the big reason for me is like I'd rather have someone who has experience in the industry with like negotiating. I
Mhm,
mean, I will say like managing myself, I learned a lot, but
mhm,
according to their slide deck, they bring creators like a lot of more opportunities in their outbound side.
mhm,
And just like looking at their page, like I can tell they work with a lot of big creators, so they probably have relationships with a lot of brands. And
mhm.
also the guy himself who started the agency is a YouTuber with like
Oh,
350,000
wow.
subscribers. So I would rather trust someone who's been in the industry longer than me to take over this part. And
Yeah.
brands are great, but I also want to kind of funnel that money more into my own thing. So
Mhm.
this is like something I'm willing to outsource now.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned that you recently started coaching
Yeah.
people. Like, what made you wanna start coaching?
Yeah, so I think like my friend Namathan is the one who really inspired me, like, the how high ticket sales, high ticket coaching. Cause
Mhm,
I didn't realize like this is a high value skill that I could teach people and I didn't
mhm,
realize like I could charge a lot. But basically I charged $3,000 for 3 months of coaching and
mhm,
they can hop on biweekly calls. So yeah, so 2 calls a month and then they can also ask me questions.
mhm,
Like we can
mhm,
text each
mhm,
other and stuff. But the reason why I decided to start coaching is because eventually I would want to launch like an info product that
mhm.
encompasses all of my knowledge and hopefully like helps
Right.
other people make money.
Yeah.
But I what really like made me want to do it is like I put myself in the shoes like I had pain 2 years ago. The pain was
Mhm,
that
mhm.
I kept getting laid off.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everyone in this day and age, especially with AI
Yes.
and
Yes.
everything happening, you can lose your job at any moment's notice.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
lost 3 jobs in 3 years.
Mm,
I was like, "I never wanna do that again. I'm gonna
mhm,
build my own income stream so that I don't
mhm,
ever have to worry about, like,
mhm,
relying on someone else and
mhm,
losing income." So, I want to inspire people to build more income streams because I think,
mhm,
like, it's more of a necessity,
mhm,
and I think I don't know, maybe this is a hot take, but I think, like, entrepreneurship is going to be the should be the new normal now for a lot of people.
mhm,
I think, like,
mhm,
jobs like being a doctor, an engineer, and lawyer, like, those are definitely needed, and I think those will always have security, but
mhm,
in terms
mhm,
of, like, tech jobs, finance, like,
mhm,
those tasks I feel like could be AI replaceable, so really the goal is to help
mhm.
people make money so that they're not replaceable.
Right. Yeah, and speaking of AI, how often do you use it? Like, are there specific tools that you like to use?
Yeah, I love AI. I use ChatGPT for almost everything. I
Yeah.
kinda use it as, like, my coach
Yeah.
slash,
Yeah.
mentor slash
Uh-huh.
therapist.
Yeah.
Anytime I have an issue, I'll go to ChatGPT. If I want
Yeah.
to refine something, I'll go to
Yeah.
ChatGPT. Now I will say, like, I don't recommend people rely on it for everything, like in
Mhm.
terms of your
Mhm.
writing copy and stuff. So
Right.
what I've started to do lately was when I write something, I ask ChatGPT, like, can you critique this and like
Yeah,
help
yeah,
me
yeah.
work on it so I can be
Uh-huh.
better.
Yeah, I've kinda noticed the same thing because I also use it a
Yes,
lot. Like, usually, I'll try to make the thing first. Like,
of
I never
course.
because when you just let it
Yes.
do whatever it wants, it's
Yeah, it's
really
never
bad.
accurate.
You really have to, like, prompt it, but
Mhm.
I feel like too, since I've been using it more, like, I need to continue refining, like, the actual
Yeah.
writing skill. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I do feel like I use it a lot.
Yeah, no,
Having
same.
to
And I don't want to become dependent on it
Yeah.
because I'm already becoming
Yeah.
dependent on it.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you had, like they put out a summary of, like, your year's,
Oh, yeah.
chat from last year, but I had so many messages, like, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot, yeah.
No, ChatGPT is great. But I also don't want it to fully replace my
Mhm.
brain. Like I still want to exercise,
Yeah, yeah.
my
And
creativity.
do you use any other tools or
um,
mainly ChatGPT, would you
AI tools, no, it's mostly just ChatGPT. The other tools I use for my business is like Canva,
Okay,
ManyChat,
yeah, yeah,
CapCut,
ManyChat, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
G Suite.
That makes sense, yeah. And then I guess now, like transitioning a little bit, what is your normal day to day as a full-time creator?
Yeah, good question. It changes every day.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll be completely honest. There's a lot of times where I'm lazy and I'm trying to not be lazy. Like
Uh-huh.
this year is the year that I create more than I consume. That's like my motto now.
Mm, that's awesome.
But last year, I feel like I was just traveling, I was just chilling because, like, it's a bad habit because, like, let's say I get paid out from a brand and it's like, oh, I don't really have to worry about money this month.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I know I
yeah,
should keep
yeah.
going, you know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
I
mean?
know
It's
you mean.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just can't just chill. Like, I should be utilizing my 20s and my energy as much as
Mhm,
possible.
mhm,
So the way my routine works is like I'll wake up, I'll usually go to the gym first thing in the
mhm,
morning because that's how I want to start my day.
mhm,
Just get the hard thing out.
mhm,
And then usually I'll be checking emails,
mhm,
make myself some breakfast. I love making like my breakfast at home. I'll make
mhm,
myself a coffee or matcha.
mhm,
And then usually from there, like I'll try to film, like batch film from maybe like 12 to 3 because that's when the sun's out and stuff.
mhm,
So
mhm.
try to take advantage of that lighting. But it varies. Like sometimes I'll be filming, sometimes I'll be scripting. I honestly should be more organized with my tasks. I feel like whatever is on my plate, I'll just do it. If I have deadlines due, I'll,
Yeah, yeah,
knock that
yeah.
out of the way.
Yeah.
But I really should be better about like batching things so it's easier.
Mhm,
And then sometimes I'll go to the city for events. So I'll get
mhm,
invited to events in the evening, like whether it's a
mhm,
dinner.
mhm,
So I'll come here for that, then I'll go home.
mhm.
But yeah, for the most part, like every day is super different.
Yeah.
In the terms of like structure, it's I always want to start with a workout in the morning
Mhm,
and then just make sure that I do like anything that I need to do for a brand or like I always try to like write a weekly newsletter. So I'll try to do that like
mhm,
the night before. But
mhm,
as long as I exercise, that's and get good sleep, those are like the two
mhm.
non-negotiables. I have to get
Yeah.
like work is great, but like I need to have my health in check first.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I also sleep a lot, I would
Yeah,
say, yeah.
same.
And then so I guess this is kind of like controversial to some
Yeah.
people, but like do you believe in work-life balance or do you think it changes for you a lot?
Yeah,
Just-
I like work-life balance.
Mhm.
I wish I could be I honestly admire the entrepreneurs that are like, you gotta work
Like
like
Hermosi.
yeah, like Ramosy. Because my friend and I were
Uh,
just talking about this. He was like, you need to work as much as you can in your 20s.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do not believe in that. I think
yeah,
I want to travel and work.
yeah,
So my priorities now, like I make a decent amount of money because I'm so financially savvy. I don't have to
yeah,
like worry about money as much.
yeah.
And that's why I think like it's so important to, learn about finances because when you
Mhm,
learn the game, you don't have to become reliant on like, oh, I need this next paycheck to pay the next
mhm,
bill.
mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
for me, like my priorities is yes, building this business, but also traveling. I think
Yeah.
traveling is actually my first priority because I
Mm,
don't want to be old and not be able to like do
yeah.
certain
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
So getting all the fun stuff out of the way so that also like when I have kids and stuff, then I can focus on
Mhm.
them. But
Yeah.
I'm a big believer of work-life balance, and I think
Mhm.
entrepreneurship is one of the few ways that can get you there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, sometimes I do think like, yeah, there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there, especially
Mhm.
online, like the hustle parents that are like, you
Yes.
gotta do
Yeah.
this. But yeah, sometimes it's like I do feel bad a little bit when I don't work as much. It's
No,
like
same.
when I don't feel
Yeah,
productive, then
no,
I know
same.
that like as long as I'm doing like getting the
Yes.
things I need to get done, it shouldn't feel as bad.
Exactly.
But yeah, I also think like this is a bit of a tangent, but for like women, I feel like
Doesn't work
there's so
that.
many
Yes.
changes that go
Hormonal changes
on.
too. Do you ever just take a day off because you just have to? You just can't because your body's,
And some days I definitely am more productive than other days where,
Yeah.
and I feel as I'm getting older, even though just
Mhm.
my mid-20s, I've slowly started to realize like,
Yeah.
there's some days where I can really be super productive,
Mhm.
but then some days it's just not gonna happen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree too, and I totally agree on the woman part because I don't really see any woman out there making content like, "You gotta grind." I feel like it's mostly the men,
Yeah.
and I think for women, I also listened to a podcast on this, but if you're more in tune with your cycle, it's easier where it's like, there's gonna be days where you have low energy, and like during your luteal phase, it's like harder to get stuff done, but then during your ovulation phase, you're more creative.
Yeah.
And I'm very in tune with my cycle, so I do notice like I have more productive days and I have days where I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah, I feel like maybe when I was in college, like I would just like push myself, like or like
Oh,
when you have
yeah.
tests and stuff like that, it's
Yes.
like we
Because
just
you
go
have
and go.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then now it's like I'm slowly realizing more like,
Mhm.
yeah, there's that like I shouldn't push myself because then it'll be more detrimental. Like if I
Exactly.
kind of force myself and I should just
Yeah.
rest.
No, I'm a big believer of rest and work-life balance.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess connecting to that, like what is something you didn't expect, like, being able to be a full-time creator, like, would you say there's pros and cons compared to,
Mhm.
like, working your corporate job? Like,
Yeah.
would you ever go back? I guess it's the comparison between that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Things like sorry, what was the original
Like,
question?
what did you not expect?
Yes. I did not expect how much free time I had.
Yeah.
I think like I didn't expect how cognizant I should be of my time, like how I was spending my time because
Yeah.
I do have a lot of free time and I know like I could be using that time to, make more money or like but at the same time it's like I'm also happy so I want to do this and that.
Yeah.
And another thing is like I didn't realize like what yeah, I didn't realize how roller coaster my income could be. So
Yes.
some months can be really good, some months
Mhm.
not so great, but
Mhm.
just having that belief that you can still make it and just keep putting in that consistent effort because at the end of the day, you rely on yourself for the income.
Yeah.
Pros and cons, I would say like the biggest con is honestly health insurance.
Oh,
Yeah, health insurance is
yeah.
expensive.
Mhm.
But I planned for that beforehand. So for some context, like I think like I was paying $350 for insurance and then recently it went up to like $450, but then I found another plan.
Yeah.
So having to like set up your own health insurance and like your own salary and benefits, like making sure that's good.
Right,
That's like a
right.
big con.
Mhm.
In terms of like would I go back to corporate? Most likely not. However, I feel like the only scenario where I would go back is if I'm like part of a startup that I genuinely believe in, where I can get some equity, then I would consider it. So I'll never say never, but for the
Right.
most part, I really enjoy where I'm at.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure, like, controlling the time, I feel like before too, when I was my corporate job, like,
Yeah.
it's definitely I think it has its pros and cons because now
Yes.
you're kind of in charge of,
Of
like, what
course.
you're doing, so then it's like, if you're kind of just scrolling on the
Yeah.
computer or something, or, like,
Exactly.
distracted, it's like no one's telling you.
Exactly. Nobody's like on top
Yeah.
of you. I wish I could
Yeah.
just clone myself and just like be my own boss and actually be like,
Yeah.
yo, what are you doing? Get off your
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I was just talking to my other friend the other day too about like cloning
Yeah.
myself and like yeah, how much more we probably
Yeah,
clone,
right.
but yeah, that's funny. I would say like I guess for people who are let's say like just graduated college and maybe trying to figure out what to do, like maybe they're in a job that they don't love or maybe they
Yeah.
are unemployed. Like, do you have any advice for those people?
Honestly, my best advice is like try everything and then whatever you do enjoy, just keep going at it. So for me, like I always knew I loved content, but I think like what made me push it away was well, one, like I had a full-time job at the time, so I wasn't like really like thinking about it then. And also I think it was just like a lot harder to get over that hump of like, to grow, you have to post consistently. But if you know what you need to do, you just have to do more of it. So
Yeah.
more volume in what you enjoy. And so when you try it all and you find something you like, it really just boils down to consistency at the end of the day. I know it's so boring, but it's like it's that atomic habits effect where you
Oh,
have
yeah. I actually have a book.
yeah, like the graph where it's like it's steady and then
Yes,
boom.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
literally anything
Yeah,
that you do.
yeah.
So like if you want to be a creator, for example, you literally just have to keep posting every day and then one day you'll hit that inflection point. So whatever you decide, try everything, like try it all because you don't know what you're gonna like. And then but when you find something you like, just keep working at it. Now, is it going to be like enjoyable all the time? No, but if it's something you're willing to stick with long enough, you can get results. If because the more that you stick at something, the better you are, and then the more you can pass that value in like whatever you are trying to build, or it could be value to someone else. Like if you want to help a client or work for another company, just double down on one skill.
Yeah, no, that's good advice. And I think Alex Hormozy says that a lot too, where
Yeah,
it's like
don't get distracted.
don't get distracted and like just keep at it, and at some point like it'll pay off,
exactly.
Yeah, and I think too, like another point to that is like if you don't like making content, but like there's something else that you really like, then like trying to go all in on that.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think there are a lot of people like becoming creators and like
Yeah.
influencers nowadays. And then I think there's also like other paths that you could go down on.
For sure.
Yeah. And like kind of talking about like the economy just like right now, like since it's the new year, do you like are there any finance tips that you like to, or I guess like actions that you'd like to take in the new year, like in a new like I guess a new quarter?
Yeah, so finance tips for like the younger generation.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I would definitely say like open the basics, like get a high yield savings account, like have your money work for you instead of just sitting in a checking account like that's earning nothing. Learn how to invest. I think people overcomplicate it. Like it really is not that hard. Like look into an index fund, S&P 500, and just put something in there. Like have a way for your money to work for you.
Right.
And get a credit card and use it responsibly. Take advantage of those points. Like those points can really help so much with traveling.
Yeah.
Help you save so much. Obviously, like don't get into credit card debt.
Yeah.
What else? Really just like knowing your numbers, I think tracking your numbers is important. I think knowing how much you spend each month and knowing how much you make, that way you can find the difference between the two. So for example, if you're making like 5,000, but then you're spending 2,000 on essentials, then you have 3,000 to keep, and then you can use that 3,000 to make you even more money.
Yeah.
And that doesn't just have to be the stock market. It can be like in your skills. It can be in a course or a mentorship or something that will help you make more. Like always use that spare amount to make more money.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, I feel like that's great advice. And I think like would you say like your views on money have changed a lot over time, or have they stayed pretty consistent?
They've been pretty consistent. I think like the biggest view that has changed for me the last year was like investing back into myself. Because before I was like so hesitant to pay for like boot camps or mentorship, but then I realized like there is actual value in it.
Yeah.
Great example here. I spent $6,000 on an accountant.
Oh,
And I like if my past self would be like, what the heck? Like you would never do that. But I'm starting to realize the tangible value. It's like they're giving me premium service. They're helping me save money.
Right.
So I have no doubts that I'll make my investment back. But putting back more into my business, I know it's also a risk, but at the end of the day, like any decision you make in business is going to be a risk, but eventually it will come back if you like make sure you play your cards right and do the work that's involved.
Right. And I guess going back to like how you like picked up all this finance knowledge, like is there something specific that you like a course you took, or just books, or just you were watching YouTube? I'm just curious how you got it.
It's all from Graham Stephan, actually.
Oh, really?
It's all from watching. Graham Stephan is like he's the biggest finance YouTuber. He really paved the way. I think like I learned everything about money from watching his videos. But if you are someone who wants to read books, like I highly recommend maybe reading like I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. That's like a very good basic, like
it breaks it down.
breaks down everything. That one. And then honestly, there's just like so many resources, but if I had to pick a few, I would say like Graham Stephan's YouTube videos and then that book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And I guess what is a financial myth that you think is spread out, like put out there a lot?
Probably like that buying a house is everything. Like, you should own a home. I think in this day, it's so changed a lot. I think actually like if you do the math, you're actually going to make more money from the stock market than getting a house. And also I think like people are starting to realize like buying a house isn't the end goal for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not a direct result of like building you wealth. I think there's so many ways nowadays to build wealth outside of just real estate.
Right.
So many non-traditional ways. And I think nowadays it's just so much harder to even get into real estate given the cost.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. And this is kind of go back to traveling, but like
Yeah.
you mentioned that a few times throughout the episode. Like, what got you into traveling? Was it that first trip that you took, really? And like, are you going on another trip sometime soon?
Yeah, so ever since I was young, like, I don't know, I've always been like an adventurous person. I love exploring. So
Mm.
I was really like into Drew Binsky. Like, he would
Mm.
travel all these places. Like, I love watching travel creators and seeing them like experience these new places and these new foods. I was like, whoa, like, I want to be
Yeah,
there. I want to like
yeah.
try this too.
Uh-huh.
And I love like new experiences. So really the goal for me, like the reason why I wanted to do what I do is so I could travel. And obviously to
Yeah.
travel, you need money. And if you
Yeah.
need to get money, you got to do this. So I kind of like reverse engineered how I wanted my life to look
Mhm,
like.
mhm.
But I've just always been a curious learner who
Yeah.
loves to explore. And I am leaving for Hong Kong tomorrow. So
Mhm.
that's exciting because the last time I went, I was 3 years old.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
But I'll be meeting my sister there, and then we're gonna go to the Philippines,
Oh,
and then we're gonna go to I'm gonna go to Mexico.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's great. And is there a destination that you haven't been to yet that you want to go to?
Yes, I want to explore all of Europe.
Uh,
I've only been to Iceland, but I've never been to like Paris,
okay.
London. Like,
Yeah,
I really want to
yeah.
explore that entire region.
Mhm. Yeah, I always conflicted, which because I
Yeah,
love Asia, because obviously also
yeah,
like I'm from the Philippines,
of
but yeah,
course.
it definitely has like a lot of nice things too there.
Yeah, I'm curious,
Yeah.
like, and since you've been to so many places, do you prefer Asia or Europe?
I think now I would still say Asia
Mm-hmm.
just because it's so cheap, like for the
Mm-hmm.
value that you
Yeah.
get. But I do like Europe too because the train system there, it's like you can
Mm-hmm.
just get around really easily.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also not too hard with Asia. I mean, it's usually
Yeah.
just like a 1 hour flight or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But yeah, I think
Asia has better food.
yeah, I
Okay.
love I love Asian food, but
Same.
there's also other parts of Europe that I haven't gone to too much yet, like
Oh,
Eastern Europe or like, like some of the less traveled to places that
yeah.
I want to go to.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think also like recently I went back to Ireland. It wasn't like in the past year, but I think it was 2024.
Mhm.
And I feel like it looks so different. Even like Italy, I went back over the summer with my parents, and the last time I had gone was so long ago that
Mhm.
like I feel like it looks so different. It's like,
Oh,
like, yeah, even
nice.
something simple. I went to Boston recently and I
Mhm.
hadn't been there in like a decade. And it just
Mhm.
like I feel like it's different when you go back when you're older.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So I'm curious how you see. I mean, do you remember
Yeah.
anything from Hong Kong or not?
No, I don't remember a thing. So I'm
Yeah.
curious, like, it'll basically be my first time. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And I guess if you do have free time now, like what are some hobbies that you do? Or is it mainly like
Yeah.
exercising and then if there's any other time?
My hobbies, I really like pickleball. I
Uh-huh.
actually live pretty close to a pickleball court, so whenever my boyfriend's available, I'll
Mhm.
have him play with me.
Mhm.
I wish I had more. Honestly, I need more friends where I am. Like, I feel
Uh-huh.
like all my friends are in New York City.
Yeah.
In terms of like where I live in New Jersey, I actually don't have any friends where I
Mhm,
live. So
mhm.
I'm always coming to the city, but my hobbies
Yeah.
are pickleball. I'm really getting back into cooking again. Like, I
Oh,
love making new
yeah.
recipes.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, honestly, like I think I also want to get back more into like musical instruments. I play the piano, so I want to buy a
Okay.
piano and keep that up.
Yeah.
But I feel like yeah, I doom scroll a lot. I'm trying to do less of that. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
goal this year is like less doom scroll, be more productive, or just do more off-screen activities.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like that's also becoming a trend lately. Like
Yeah,
I've seen more like
exactly.
collages, like stuff on TikTok that uses more creativity
Yes.
aside from
Yeah.
digital.
Yeah, so I started,
Yeah.
like, coloring and
Oh, me too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you know those, like, real life kits where you can build, like,
Oh,
little
yeah,
houses? I started doing
yeah.
that too.
Wait, I've been wanting to. I might make it a project where like I build a mini house,
You
like some
should.
sort. But I don't know. I've never. Is it hard or?
No, it's not hard. It basically uses glue and paper, so it's pretty easy.
Okay,
I haven't
okay.
finished my thing. I think it takes a while, but it's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Okay.
It's better than being on your phone, I think.
Yeah. No, for sure. And then yeah, last year like I was gonna start crocheting, and I think I did it like 2 or 3
Oh,
times, and it's kind actually
it's
kind of
pretty
hard.
fun. It is
It's
hard.
fun, but it's hard. I don't know why I decided to like there's like a whole stuffed
Mhm.
animal like right from
Yeah.
the start. But yeah, I used to do scarves when I was little.
Oh, have
Yeah.
you tried the Woobles? Those are pretty
No,
fun.
I don't think I've done
Oh,
those.
it's a crochet company where you can make these little stuffed animals.
Oh,
You should
okay,
check it
okay.
out.
Yeah, I should
That
check it out.
I used to be like a little bit into crocheting because
Oh,
of that.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, especially with the free time and like,
Yeah,
you know, just being able to like try new hobbies. It's cool.
exactly.
Yeah. And I guess like a rapid fire, because like that was all my questions
It's okay.
now. But what is a recent charge on your bank statement?
Recent charge on the subway. So,
Would you make coffee or matcha at home or at like get it at a coffee shop?
oh, I would definitely make matcha and both at home, but I prefer matcha. Yeah.
What is a splurge?
Travel.
Travel.
Yeah.
And would you say you're surviving right now or thriving?
I would say I'm thriving.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Megan, for coming
Oh,
on the
thanks for having
podcast.
me.
And it was great chatting with you.
Thank you
And
so
if
much.
people want to find you, what is your full handle again?
Yeah, so it's at Meghan Makes Money on Instagram. If you want to check YouTube, because I do also want to start doing that this year, it's at Meghan_Lim, but mostly on Instagram. So, and also get me to 10K on TikTok. It's the same one on TikTok as well.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.
Thank you.
Staying into Thriving with Trisha. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be so grateful if you hit follow, leave a review, and shared it with someone. I'll see you on the next one.